Well, hello, folks. It's coffee time. Can we talk? Me and Mama is sitting here having some of this delicious pumpkin bread that she made. I showed it the other night, and everybody was asking about the recipe. Mama, you know the recipe of this?
I've got it wrote down, but it's not very good shape.
Well, you got it with you.
Mm-hmm.
I told her to. I said they're wanting the recipe of this pumpkin bread. She should have let me know she was filming. She was making it, and I'd have filmed it.
Well, it's called pumpkin bread, and it preheat the oven to 325 and bake it for 1 hour, and you put it in a loaf pan. And you have to have 1.5 cups of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of soda, 3/4 teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon.
Slow down, Mama.
A half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a half a teaspoon of allspice. It calls for nutmeg, but I always use just the allspice because it's got the cloves and flavor and stuff in it. So it's a half a teaspoon of allspice, and you have a 1 2/3 cup of flour, a half a cup of oil, and 2 eggs, 1 cup of pumpkin, and 1 cup of raisins, and 1 cup of nuts. And when I originally got the recipe, it was called double pumpkin bread, but it makes 2 good-sized loaves. And if you can see here the size of loaf that I put it in, it makes, if you double it, it makes 2 of them. So that was way too much. So I broke it down into half, and that's what I always use. It'll make you a good-sized loaf of bread if you just do what the recipe I gave you. And then it says you mix all the ingredients, and then you add your oil, eggs, and pumpkin and mix together. And then when you get it all mixed and blended it together again, good, what I do is add my raisins and nuts, and I just take my spatula and stuff and just stir them in. I don't use the mixer after I put the raisins and nuts in it. And then I fill your pans half full, and after you cook it for that hour, take a toothpick and check it. And then you just take it out and let it cool some before you start cutting it. And that's all I do to it. And I make a cream cheese ice, and I think I've had it on here before. And it's just calls for a stick of...
You didn't give that one.
Oh, I gave this one that one already.
Yeah. Now, y'all can write that down, but what Mom could do is just make this again and show them. And I would have pumpkin bread to eat maybe in the next few weeks for Christmas.
We've got pumpkin bread now, a whole lot of them.
This is Thanksgiving pumpkin bread. I cannot be eating Thanksgiving pumpkin bread for Christmas, Mama.
It's all the same.
Well, you'll just have to make it again. Should do anything from getting out.
I'll make you banana bread by then.
No, I want pumpkin bread for Christmas too. Okay, so everyone had asked about it, so that's the reason I had her to tell that. I would show you the picture, but she's got it's an ink pen, and I tried to take a picture and it didn't show up good. So anyway,
do I need to go over the ingredients, just the ingredients again?
Nah, I think they got it. They can replay it if they didn't. So we're eating this for our Thanksgiving leftovers. We've not had any leftovers today. We didn't have a lot of leftovers. We went to my aunt's for Thanksgiving, and she sent us back a plate, but I just really didn't want it today.
Tell them what you wanted.
I've asked her several things, but I've got pumpkin bread so far.
It's good for you, though.
We'll eat some turkey tomorrow and some dressing. Maybe we won't feel like leftovers. It'll be a whole brand new meal.
Oh, yeah.
I did want to share one thing with you. Kids say the funniest little things. I'll share this, then I'll share the other. One time I went into the small kids classroom at church, and my aunt, she teaches that class, and I was going there to remind them about the Christmas play was coming up and to tell them to get your stuff ready and try to get them all psyched up about it. And I said, it's just 2 weeks away. And one little boy said, 2 weeks. How many sleeps is that? I said, it's about 14. He said, that's a lot. And I said, yeah, that's a lot.
Of sleeps.
Another boy said, you are as tall as a giant. I said, I'm pretty tall. He said, when I get old, I'm going to be a giant too. And I said, are you? And he said, yeah. And I said, how old do you think I am? He looked at that other little girl and he said, he's old. I said, you got that right. I said, how old do you think I am? He said, oh my gosh, I bet you're like 10. I said, almost.
Almost.
Kids are adorable and they say the funniest things, but they're honest. And they're just adorable. So, I've been sharing recipes and had a bunch of recipes. I have some friends and they've got 2 little boys and they're a little 5-year-old. I don't know how he came up to do this. Maybe it was at school or maybe his mama just asked him. But it is so cute. If you've ever wondered what a 5-year-old, how they think macaroni and cheese is made, well, this is how little Finn makes it. And I wrote Finn's mama and I said, do you think Finn would mind if I share his recipe on Coffee Time? And she wrote me back and she said, he said no. He'd be glad for you to share it. He'll be famous. So, Finn, this is your debut of your recipe. And he said he could think up some more if I give him a little bit more time. So, he may have some more recipes. So, if you ever wonder about a 5-year-old's macaroni and cheese recipe, here it is. So, Finn says, macaroni and cheese. You make it with 5 cup spoons of oil. 5 cup spoons. Now, see, you may not know those measurements, but there it is. 6 macaroni and cheeses. 7 sticks of butter. I like it already. And here's my favorite. 10 cups of cheese. Now that is going to be delicious.
6 macaronis.
I'll go over it again in case you're writing it down. 5 cup spoons of oil, 6 macaroni and cheeses, 7 sticks of butter, 10 cups of cheese. Now here's the only part that's going to be a little rough. You got to have a little time on this one because he says then you put it on the stove and you cook it for 16 hours. So that sounds delicious to me.
Oh, yeah.
So if your kids have a recipe, post it below. I'd like to see what their ideal macaroni and cheese or maybe
Anything.
hot dogs or anything. You know, kids, I guess it does feel like it takes a long time when he's waiting for macaroni and cheese. Maybe 16 hours ain't that long for a 5-year-old. Kids keep the world young. They're the driving force. So I wanted to share that recipe. As soon as I read it, I just loved it. And I thought, there's a recipe we need to be sharing. Hope y'all had a good day yesterday. We had a wonderful time with family. There wasn't many of us. Some of them wasn't able to be there. I don't think we broke any laws, did we, Mama?
It was just only 4 for lunch, so
4 for lunch. I think we were
2 come
good.
later, so all told just
And we stayed
6.
outside a lot.
That was right. So we should be all right.
So we should be all right. I don't think they'll come and get us. So anyway, Mama, you got anything else you want to add today?
No, I'm just been blessed all my life, and this Thanksgiving too, to be with some of my family anyway. I thought it was just going to be me and you, but I'm thankful.
Boy, that would have been bad on you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been.
Mama was so glad to get out of the house. She ain't been out hardly anywhere.
No.
And so she got...
My son, if you know him, he makes me stay in. He don't want me to get sick.
It's hard to raise a 70-year-old. Try.
72, I'm just...
She's in her terrible 72s. Folks, we hope you're having a good time. We hope you've enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And you know what? It's time to start Merry Christmas. I've got my coffee cup out. We're ready to go with Christmas time. We decorated a little early this year. Mama was bored, so she wanted to go ahead and get started on her trees. She's got everything all decked out. We'll probably show you the trees one night when they're all lit up. I don't know if this camera will pick up all them lights, though.
I don't know if it will either.
You'll have to try it.
I cut back on my trees this year.
She did. She's done real good. You just put up 5, didn't you?
Yeah, just 5 trees this year.
Just 5 this year. She's cut way back. She's trying to quit the habit.
That's right.
Normally she does put up a few more, and then we usually have a tree in the garage.
A big one in the garage.
A big one in the garage. Our garage, when we built the garage on, we put, in one end of it, we put a kitchen area for Mama to can in and put a gas stove out there. so she could can. But you can in here on this one. You ain't wearing
Yeah.
pants.
I just ain't used to it yet.
She
That's,
said.
that's my party kitchen when we have get-togethers.
So when we have the whole family over, a lot of times we end up out in the garage with the fold-out tables and chairs and.
When you got 70-something coming, you got to have a lot of room for them to sit and gather around and talk.
But we always have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they're allowed in the rest of the house. We don't close it off.
No, they're everywhere. That's what it is.
Anyhow, folks, until next time, y'all have a good time. Enjoy some pumpkin bread or whatever dessert you have left over. Enjoy something good to eat. And
We've had this sawdust salad and pumpkin bread and pumpkin roll, and we've just pumpkined it out. Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie, pecan pie.
Yeah.
It was all good. It's time to start getting ready for Christmas. So
It's going to be a rough, quick. He'll be here before you can bat an eye.
you gonna make some cranberry relish this time?
If I find the cranberries, you won't let me go nowhere to hunt for them.
I told you I'd get you some cranberries. We'll get some cranberries, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And Mom will make some cranberry relish and some more stuff. We'll have some Christmas recipes coming. We have pretty much the same thing for Christmas as we do Thanksgiving as far as cornbread dressing, mashed potatoes. We do have a wonderful, one thing I love at Christmas time is some cinnamon apples that we make with those little cinnamon imperials.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so pretty and bright for a Christmas table. We have a couple of casseroles that we make and enjoy those. So we'll be making some stuff. Mom will be filming if I can catch her. Just like this pumpkin bread, she slips in here and she cooks, and then she don't tell me. And I said, Mama, why didn't you tell me? We could have filmed that. She said, because I didn't want to fool with you.
Well, you work so late that I have to go ahead and do stuff to get it
Mama,
done.
you don't. It ain't always night. You slip and cook stuff sometimes when I'm here.
Yeah,
Or when I'm coming over here and you know it.
I know it. But
She's
I just like
sneaky.
to eat, get cook, and eat.
She's sneaky. All right, Mama. Let's leave the folks alone and let them get on with their day.
Goodbye, Mama, and you all have a great weekend.
Until next time, y'all find you something good to eat and make you some good memories.